All right, guys. So an update of what I've done so far. I've kind of removed all the wiring and I disconnected all the wiring and the battery and airbox and everything. Fluids are all drained, and the cables have been disconnected. So, and obviously the shift linkage and exhaust have been also disconnected. Today, I will be disconnecting the remaining coolant lines and the fuel lines, as well as pulling out the axles. Then basically, the engine should be ready for me to kind of pull out. So let's get to work. All right, guys, so here I am trying to remove the axle nut on the passenger side, but with difficulty because I did not loosen the axle nut while the vehicle is still on the ground. The trick is to actually pop your center caps and then expose the axle nut and then undo the dent on the axle nut, loosen it with the breaker bar, and then jack up the vehicle. The driver's side was already done like that before, which made it easy with the impact gun because I was actually inspecting that CV axle. So that was my mistake. Let's try this again.
All right, so axle nuts off. So typically what you would do is just remove the fork here, and then there's a ball joint nut here, and then you should be able to swing everything out. But I've already kind of attempted it on the driver's side. It was the ball joint doesn't really come off. It's stuck on there pretty good, and you don't want to mess up the threads on it. So one other way to do it is basically disconnect this traction bar, traction bar on the lower control arm, this, and then also disconnect the bolt back there for the control arm. And then you take off this fork and everything should spin out.
All right, so you get these two nuts off, the back nut, the suspension fork, and then you tap the axle with a hammer out, and as you pull the brakes and the axle, it should give you enough room to take the axle out.
All right, here it is. Both axles are out. Right there. So yeah, once you get this front part out of the brake area, all you have to do is just go back there with a pry bar and pop it right out of the transmission. All right, so the motor is finally out. Here's where I hooked up the hoist to basically the transmission mount. And there's a little part on the head over there that you can hook up as well. Took a lot of maneuvering and shifting the engine around and finally got it out.
All right, so that's all for today. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.